Hey, it's Jessica here, your fitness, nutrition, and holistic health coach, and I'm going to talk to you today about ulcerative colitis and how to manage and kind of alleviate symptoms naturally. It's very important, though, that you check with your medical professional first, and anything that I share with you today is for educational purposes only, so it's not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any disease. So I'm going to try to give you some tips. I'm going to try to keep it short as best I can. I could probably elaborate on more points. So if something doesn't make sense or you want more information, just let me know. Leave me a comment or send me a message, and I can either make another video or I can help share some more information for you. So, ulcerative colitis. It is an inflammatory bowel disease. So either the large intestine or the rectum or both can become inflamed. And what happens is you get these small sores that turn into ulcers. And what happens is the contents of your colon get released very rapidly and very frequently because it's essentially always irritated. What's important to note is that it's an inflammatory issue. So it's very important that we work on reducing digestive stress and reducing inflammation. Symptoms that can occur are diarrhea, bloody stools. There can be a lot of abdominal pain, rectal pain, and there can be lots of other symptoms around this issue. So I'm going to give you some general tips on reducing digestive stress, but then I'll get a little more specific into ulcerative colitis. So the first general tip is to make sure that you are eating in a relaxed, calm, and happy state. Because if you are rushed, or you're stressed out, or you're upset, or you're angry, you have kicked in your sympathetic nervous system, which is your fight or flight mode. You've probably heard that, right? Your body is preparing to either fight some danger or flight, like run away from danger. And blood is being sent to other areas of your body, specifically your muscles. And it's essentially saying, there's no time to eat, we need to get away from danger. So when you are in that state, you are not going to digest your food properly. So we need to make sure we are in the rest and digest state, which is the parasympathetic system. Just making sure that you are calm and relaxed when you are eating. Second general tip for reducing digestive stress is to make sure that you are chewing your food thoroughly, taking the time to break down your food, being nice to your system, and starting the digestive process, because the digestive process does start in your mouth, right? Not only do we have teeth to break down food, but we also release an enzyme called amylase, which is a digestive enzyme that starts to break down sugars and starches in the mouth. So digestion starts in the mouth. Give your system a break and chew your food thoroughly. Okay, so those are just my general tips for reducing digestive stress. But now we're going to get into more specific to ulcerative colitis. Like I said, it's an inflammatory issue, so we need to reduce inflammation. And it's so important to follow an anti-inflammatory diet to allow your digestive system to heal. I think maybe I'll just get a little metaphorical for a second here. Just work with me and bear with me. Say you had a best friend, okay, and they just lost a loved one, like a loved one passed away, and they are so upset, they are hurt, they're in pain, they're crying, they're confused, they're scared, they're very upset. You would not go up to them and start yelling at them or being mean to them or making them feel worse or calling them names or beating them up. No, they're in pain right now. I mean, not that you would do that other thing anyway to them, but like they're upset. You would approach them with love. You would be gentle to them. Your tone of voice would be different. You would help them feel better. You'd give them that comfortable, safe place to heal. That is how we need to treat our bodies, especially when there's a health problem and in our digestive system as well. So treat it gently. We need to be nice to our bodies. So just keep that in mind. So an anti-inflammatory diet, very, very important. Work with your natural healthcare practitioner to find out if you have any food sensitivities or food allergies that are aggravating your symptoms. So there is tests that you can get done to determine that. And just keeping watch on inflammatory foods. These are your highly processed foods, your highly refined sugar in high quantities, your trans fats from fried foods, and other common allergens like dairy, gluten, soy, corn, and oftentimes some of the nightshade vegetables as well. So it's so important to find out what you are sensitive to, because you could be eating something every single day that you're just simply sensitive to or allergic to, and you are aggravating your symptoms every single day, right? Because we have to eat every single day. So figure that out. Another thing that is important when you have a sensitive digestive system, or if you have an inflammatory bowel disease, is to make sure that you're not eating large, heavy meals. Give your system a break. Eat smaller meals that are easier to digest, along with avoiding really cold foods, because cold foods can cause spasms in your digestive system. So making sure you're having more warm or room temperature foods and liquids, okay? Foods that can really aggravate your system if you are sensitive and you have an inflammatory bowel disease are a lot of your raw vegetables, your whole nuts and seeds, alcohol, caffeine, and cocoa for some people. Chocolate, I know, it sucks, right? Chocolate is delicious. So there are some things like that. Spicy foods too can also aggravate. So you need to be gentle. I don't know if I can stress that enough. We just need to be nice to the system. Don't include anything in the diet that is hurting you or causes you symptoms. Give your system time to heal, okay? So if you can't eat your vegetables and your whole nuts and seeds, what are you supposed to do? So if you have an inflammatory bowel disease, it's important to cook your fruits and vegetables. That's going to help you to digest them easier. If you have whole nuts and seeds, be sure to blend them into a nut butter. Blend them up, grind them up, make them easier to digest. If you have trouble with like beans and legumes, have a type of a warm soup that has the outer part of the legume removed, so like a split bean or split pea soup. But definitely check with your naturopathic doctor on that to find out if that is one of the culprits. In terms of fiber, there's both soluble and insoluble fiber. And we need both in our diet, but if you have a sensitive issue or an inflammatory bowel disease, you're going to want to make sure that you are consuming gentle fibers like ground flax, ground chia seeds, cooked amaranth. Those are much more gentle, but it's still going to give you the fiber that you need, because we do need fiber in our diet. And if you are working on trying to increase your fiber, you need to do this very, very slowly, because if you are adding a whole whack all of a sudden, that is going to aggravate the crap out of your system. And that pun was not intended, but that can kind of work. So anyhow, we need to just be very, very careful. Okay, so like I said, think of it as like somebody who's very upset. Just approach them gently, very gently. Puree your food as much as you can. Blend up your food. That's going to help give your system a break. And what else? Yes, I've talked about the cold food. Yeah, probiotics. That's another thing. Probiotics are so important for so many things. very important for our digestive system. They are going to help balance out your system. So probiotics, very important. So if I can just try to sum this up really quickly, make sure you're reducing digestive stress. Be sure to eat an anti-inflammatory diet. Be sure to grind up and puree and blend foods. Make sure you're cooking your raw fruits and vegetables. And be careful with the seeds, especially even from berries. You might want to either just avoid your berries for a little while or strain out the seeds, because those little seeds can also aggravate your system. Okay, so I hope I didn't forget anything. There's probably other things I could say because I could keep rambling, but those are my tips for you. Please let me know your thoughts and if this video was helpful. And if you have any more topics that you want me to talk about, I would love to share information with you. Thank you for watching.